A video from a subway train in Vietnam recently went viral. In the footage, water was dripping non-stop from the ceiling inside the train. Passengers had to open umbrellas just to stay dry, and some quickly moved to drier parts of the carriage to avoid the water. Vietnamese media reported that this happened on Hanoi Cát Linh Hà Đông metro line. The person who uploaded the video said, "I'm almost 50 years old and I've never seen anything like this anywhere else in the world." His words quickly sparked strong reactions online. Hanoi Metro Company later explained that the leak was caused by a problem in the air conditioning system, which led to water building up and seeping into the carriage. The company apologized to passengers and said a full inspection of the system is underway to prevent it from happening again. Construction of this line started in 2017 and began service in 2021. It was built by China Railway 6th Group, and the train cars were supplied by Beijing Subway Rolling Stock Equipment Company. This is Hanoi's first metro line, known as Line 2A. It stretches 13 kilometers, has 12 stations, and trains run at 80 kilometers per hour. Each train has 4 carriages and can carry up to 1,000 passengers. During construction, the project faced land clearance problems and funding issues that delayed progress. There were also multiple accidents at the construction site, some of which led to injuries and deaths. Local residents once had high hopes for the metro, but the project has faced ongoing criticism. Back in 2008, the initial budget was $550 million US. By 2017, it had risen to around $870 million US. People are also worried about how few passengers are using the metro. During a 2-week free trial period, the trains were packed, but on the first day of ticket sales, reports showed only about 12,000 passengers, an average of just 60 people per trip, or 8% of total capacity. A retired resident from Ha Dong said it took more than 10 years to build, 4 times longer than expected. Costs went over by 9 trillion Vietnamese dong. Transport officials made many promises to get it running, but they kept breaking them. This made people angry and lose trust. The public has every reason to feel upset and doubtful. He also added, "I don't trust doing business with China. I'm not happy with how slow and careless they were. If we could choose again, I wouldn't go with a Chinese contractor. I'd pick Japan or Cuba for public transport projects, because there's clear evidence that those countries manage things far better in many areas." In October 2024, after nearly 20 years of planning, Vietnam's National Assembly finally approved the North-South High-Speed Rail project. The new line will stretch 1,541 kilometers, cost about $67.3 billion US, and connect Hanoi with Ho Chi Minh City. It will pass through more than 20 provinces and cities, with a designed speed of 350 kilometers per hour. Currently, 4 high-speed rail companies from France, Japan, South Korea, and China are competing for this project. Vietnam has made technology transfer an important bidding condition. Japan's Shinkansen technology leads in this competition. At this critical moment, the news that Chinese-made subway cars are leaking rainwater clearly boosts Japan's competitive advantage. The rarity of passengers holding umbrellas inside the subway quickly made Made in China a joke and a hot topic on Vietnamese social media. Some forum users joked that it's already impressive that Chinese subways still work after the warranty expired. A little water leak isn't a big deal. The video has spread to China's Douyin platform. Some users mocked it, but others quickly reminded them. Vietnam's Line 2A was built by China as part of the Belt and Road Initiative, and the train cars are also Chinese-made. Don't laugh at others. Look more closely at China's own subway issues. In recent years, as the Chinese Communist Party's Belt and Road Initiative expands globally, Chinese companies have caused many overseas accidents. Poor quality construction projects are also being exported abroad. Some people said that as a key Belt and Road project, overseas subway construction quality is actually better than domestic projects. If people saw the water leaks and other problems in China's own subways, they might not be so surprised. In April 2025, at Shanghai Metro Line 4's Nanpu Bridge station, the huge amount of water poured down like a waterfall inside the waiting room. The metro company claimed it was due to a partial pipe leak and said operations were not affected. This response drew widespread ridicule online. One user sarcastically said, "Nice wording, just a partial leak. I love to see what a full leak looks like." Another joked, "This proves the water pipes really have water and are not fake. They deserve praise." Some users expressed concern that such large water leaks could cause electrical hazards. In November 2024, videos surfaced showing water leaking at Beijing Metro Line 19's Tan station. Users said the station leaks water frequently, and the passage from Line 2 to Line 19 had mats laid down to soak up water. Even cement waterproofing was applied, but didn't help. In July 2024, a user exposed heavy water flow inside Shanghai Metro Line 10's Tiantong Road station. Some joked that you can now see waterfalls inside the Shanghai subway. One user warned, "Run quickly. The subway is flooding and could cause a power outage. It's dangerous." In May 2024, rain leaked into Guangzhou Metro's Lijiao station. Authorities denied it was rainwater, saying it was a frozen water pipe leaking. But some passengers who pass through the station daily said the air conditioning is too hot, making many people sweat heavily. They expressed doubt about the official denial of rain leakage. In September 2023, Shenzhen Metro was flooded. Video showed water flowing like a river on the platform. Some online users reminded others not to laugh, asking if they had forgotten how bad the Zhengzhou Metro flooding was. In August 2023, a serious leak occurred at a metro construction site in Wuhan. It caused the ground to sink, forcing residents nearby to evacuate. Video showed a large section of collapsed road and nearby buildings in dangerous condition. In July 2021, Guangzhou Metro's Line 21, Shenzhou Road station, was flooded with water like a flash flood. The scene was shocking, and the station was subsequently closed. Some said they do not dare to take the metro during heavy rain in Guangzhou, fearing they could get trapped inside. The Zhengzhou Metro tragedy mentioned by netizens refers to July 20th, 2021. On that day, despite heavy rain, Zhengzhou Metro Line 5 kept running. Floodwater broke through the water barrier at the Wulongkou parking lot and rushed into the tunnel, causing severe flooding. The government officially reported 14 deaths and 5 injuries. China's metros have suffered multiple incidents of flooding from heavy rain and pipe leaks, as well as several derailments and rear-end collisions. On the evening of December 14, 2023, multiple users reported an incident on Beijing Metro's Changping line. A train car reportedly became detached from the tracks. Witnesses said the train was hit, producing a loud noise that caused many passengers to fall and get injured. Some carriage windows shattered, the lights went out, and the cars were plunged into darkness. The incident happened during rush hour when trains were packed. Some passengers said they waited a long time for rescue and felt breathless inside the sealed cars, with some fainting. Passengers tried to kick the windows to escape. Beijing Metro responded multiple times that evening. First, it was called a vehicle failure, then confirmed that 2 cars had separated, with passengers injured. On December 15th, Beijing's Transportation Commission changed the description, saying instead that 2 trains were involved in a rear-end collision. Officials finally admitted that 515 people were sent to hospitals, 102 with fractures, but no deaths. Many on social media questioned the official explanation. Online users say most metro water leaks come from cutting corners in construction. Many rear-end collisions relate to Operation Control Center failing to meet standards. In June 2024, China issued guidance on the renovation of existing urban rail transit lines. The most striking part of this memo focuses on eliminating hidden dangers and improving safety and reliability. It notes several urgent problems. First, single power transformers often overload above 100% during peak hours, running beyond allowed short-term limits. Second, main cables used in underground lines do not meet safety standards for low smoke, halogen-free, and flame retardancy. Additionally, system integrators generally lack core technology mastery, while original suppliers cannot provide stable, quality technical support. This makes equipment maintenance highly dependent on foreign supply chains, causing high costs and risks. Core software and operating systems also rely on foreign providers, lacking autonomy and with expensive costs. Finally, equipment for communication, signaling, vehicles, integrated monitoring, automatic fare collection, security, and inspections is not standardized, reducing integration efficiency and maintenance. The guidance also highlights design flaws and serious deficiencies in coping with extreme or disaster weather, plus an urgent need for independent research and development and production of core materials and parts. Users say these issues urgently need solving, but fully implementing the guidance would require huge spending. With China's economy still weak, it's doubtful the government will allocate such large funds for public welfare. Even if some funds are released, serious corruption in the bureaucracy makes proper use unlikely. China's problem with poor quality construction is long-standing. The 2008 Wenchuan earthquake exposed this deeply. Many school buildings collapsed, killing tens of thousands of students and shocking the world. Investigations found widespread corner cutting, insufficient steel reinforcement, and substandard concrete grades. After the disaster, the Chinese government did not seriously hold anyone accountable. Instead, it suppressed citizens who were exposing the truth and imprisoned activists who investigated school quality or committed them to psychiatric hospitals. Analysts say the widespread problem of poor quality construction is no accident. It's the inevitable result of the Chinese Communist Party's bureaucratic system, where layers of officials skim funds at every stage. From project approval to construction, money is subcontracted and cut repeatedly, leaving only a small portion for actual building. A former construction industry insider revealed, for a project worth 100 million yuan, the contractor may receive only 10 to 20 million, with the rest divided up. The systemic corruption makes quality control meaningless. Inspections become a mere formality, and even basic earthquake resistance standards cannot be guaranteed. With the Belt and Road Initiative expanding, China's poor construction quality is being spread globally. You may remember the recent shocking building collapse in Bangkok. Other than that, infrastructure projects in Myanmar, Ecuador, Pakistan, Uganda, Angola, Cambodia, and others frequently face quality problems. An industry expert familiar with overseas projects said China's competitive advantage internationally lies in low prices, but these come from cutting costs and sacrificing quality. Recently, rumors say that the China Tribunal has included tofu construction in its scope of accountability to expose its threat to global civilian safety and hold CCP leader Xi Jinping and his regime responsible. The China Tribunal is part of the Citizens' Court of the World. It seeks open, transparent judicial review of crimes by the CCP, delivering justice for victims and laying groundwork for China's future democratic transition. It uses international law to focus on systemic CCP abuses of human rights, rule of law, and freedoms, covering topics like organ harvesting, suppression of dissent, and forced labor camps. Including Tofu-Dreg construction in legal accountability is based on its scale and system-wide nature, which meet the definition of crimes against humanity. According to Article 7 of the Rome Statute, crimes against humanity include widespread or systemic attacks on civilians, such as murder, extermination, and torture. While China's poor construction does not directly involve violence, its consequences, like mass casualties, property loss, and long-term safety hazards, amount to systemic violations of civilians' right to life. First, the widespread nature of Tofu-Dreg projects clear. Domestic schools, hospitals, and bridges, as well as overseas dams, railways, and buildings, all suffer quality issues. The Belt and Road Initiative alone has seen poor construction impact dozens of countries and victims worldwide. Secondly, the systemic nature of these problems stems from the CCP's governing structure. Corruption runs from the central government down to local levels, and from domestic projects to overseas ones. Officials at every level knowingly take risks for personal gain, making poor quality construction the norm. As one online user said, the CCP's constitution itself is Tofu-Dreg, suggesting deep-rooted institutional flaws. More importantly, the CCP leadership is fully aware of this. After the Wenchuan earthquake, the dangers of such shoddy construction were clear. Yet, in the 17 years since, the problem has not improved but worsened. As China's top leader, Xi Jinping's will represents the state's will. Under his rule, poor construction has not been curbed but expanded globally through the Belt and Road Initiative. After the recent building collapse in Thailand, the CCP quickly censored related news domestically. Keywords like the China Railway 6th Group and Bangkok building were deleted on social media, and even critical articles by former state media editor Hu Xijin were taken down. This deliberate cover-up fits the intentional element of crimes against humanity. China not only exports tofu-dreg construction through the Belt and Road, but also uses public transport infrastructure like metros and high-speed rails for espionage activities. In 2019, U.S. national security experts warned that Chinese-made metros exported to the U.S. posed serious security threats. For example, malicious programs hidden in train surveillance systems could transmit video footage of Pentagon or White House officials riding the metro directly to Beijing. Spies could eavesdrop on conversations via sensors installed on trains. Worst of all, deliberate security flaws might be built into the Chinese-made metro systems, allowing hackers or terrorists to cause accidents like train collisions. The Washington Post reported that the U.S. Congress, Department of Defense, and public transit experts began to take these threats seriously. U.S. metro companies decided to revise bidding rules and add stronger cybersecurity protections, aiming to prevent contracts worth over $1 billion from falling to Chinese companies with aggressively low bids. The U.S. Department of Defense is increasingly concerned about the CCP using public transport for espionage. Former Pentagon spokesperson, Lieutenant Colonel Mike Andrews, said the CCP uses predatory economic tactics, including state-supported cybercrime, worsening U.S. worries over Chinese firms' roles in critical infrastructure, whether railways or 5G networks. Recently, the Chinese media outlet China Business Journal published an article mentioning that the Western U.S. high-speed rail project is seen within the industry as the biggest setback for China's high-speed rail expansion overseas. The article stated that on June 7, 2016, China Railway still emphasized smooth progress on the Western U.S. high-speed rail project. But just 2 days later, on June 9th, the Western U.S. high-speed rail company suddenly announced it was officially terminating all activities related to the joint venture with China Railway. This announcement shocked China's railway sector. The article did not mention the reasons the U.S. ended the agreement. Experts analyzed that the U.S. had already realized the serious security risks posed by Made in China, and it stopped what seemed like a good deal in time. This marked the first major defeat of the CCP's core high-speed rail, Belt and Road projects. Negative news continues to come out from China's railway export plans. The constant export of poor-quality projects has become synonymous with the Belt and Road Initiative, and is increasingly rejected by local populations. The organizer of the China Tribunal said that the Citizens' Court of the World's rulings on Tofu-Dreg construction lack enforceability and may be ignored by the CCP. Some aid-receiving countries may also hesitate to openly confront China due to economic or political reasons, yet they remain hopeful for the prospects for accountability. As people around the world become aware that China's Tofu-Dreg projects are not only engineering failures, but also symptoms of systemic corruption, the downfall of the CCP will inevitably follow.